Hello friends, I am Sunil Bakliwal. I welcome all of you to the video lecture series on drugs acting on ANS part 7 from PharmaLife Academy. PharmaLife Academy is an academy for pharmacy and pharmacology. Friends, in the previous part of the lecture series, we discussed therapeutically used parasympathomimetic drugs. Today, we are going to talk about anticholinergic drugs. Friends, anticholinergic drugs are also known as parasympatholytic drugs, antimuscarinic drugs, muscarinic receptor antagonist, atropinic drugs, and antispasmodics. These drugs block actions of acetylcholine by blocking cholinergic receptors. As you know, cholinergic receptors are of two types: muscarinic cholinergic receptors and nicotinic cholinergic receptors. Conventionally, muscarinic receptor blockers are considered as anticholinergic drugs. Thus, anticholinergic drugs are muscarinic receptor antagonists. The nicotinic receptor blockers are referred to as ganglionic blockers and neuromuscular blockers. Ganglionic blockers block transmission at sympathetic and parasympathetic ganglia. Example of ganglionic blocker is hexamethonium, and neuromuscular blockers block neuromuscular junctions in skeletal muscles. Example of neuromuscular blocker is D-tubocurarine. Parasympatholytic drugs inhibit effects of acetylcholine released from postganglionic parasympathetic nerve endings. They block muscarinic actions of acetylcholine such as smooth muscle contractions and exocrine gland secretion. These drugs antagonize the effects of acetylcholine and other cholinomimetic drugs. The administration of these drugs is characterized by decreased secretion of saliva and gastric juices, decreased mobility of GI tract and urinary tract, and dilation of pupil. Because of their ability to relax smooth muscles, they are referred to as antispasmodic. Now, let us study classification of parasympatholytic drugs. Parasympatholytic drugs can be classified on the basis of sources of drugs and according to their therapeutic uses. On the basis of sources of drugs, they are classified into three groups: first, natural alkaloids; second, semisynthetic derivatives; and third one is synthetic compounds. These natural alkaloids are obtained directly from the natural sources. Examples are atropine, obtained from Atropa belladonna; hyoscine, that is scopolamine, obtained from Hyoscyamus niger. Semisynthetic derivatives: some modifications are made in natural alkaloids to obtain these semisynthetic derivatives. Examples are homatropine, atropine methyl nitrate, hyoscine butyl bromide, ipratropium bromide, tiotropium bromide. Synthetic compounds: these are totally synthesized in laboratories. Examples are cyclopentolate, tropicamide, propanthelin, oxyphenonium, fluoxetine, isopropamide, glycopyrrolate, dicyclomine, pyrazapine, oxybutynin, tolterodine, procyclidine, piperidine, benzoxole, etc. According to therapeutic uses, parasympatholytic drugs are classified into following categories. First, mydriatics. Mydriatics are used mainly to dilate the pupil for eye examination. Examples include homatropine, cyclopentolate, tropicamide. Next category is antiasthmatics. Examples include ipratropium bromide and tiotropium bromide. Then next category for parasympatholytic drugs is peptic ulcer. Example include pyrazapine, telanzapine. Parasympatholytic drugs used as antispasmodics are atropine methyl nitrate, propanthelin, oxyphenonium, dicyclomine. Next category is vesicoselective antispasmodics. Vesicoselective means they are more selective towards the urinary bladder. Examples include oxybutynin, fluoxetine, and tolterodine. Next category is anti-Parkinsonian. These are centrally acting anti-Parkinsonian drugs. Examples include benzoxole and benztropine. Parasympatholytic drugs are also used as pre-anesthetic agents. Pre-anesthetic agents are primarily used to reduce salivary and bronchial secretions, to prevent vagal bradycardia and hypotension, and prophylaxis of laryngospasm during surgeries. Parasympathetic drugs can treat a variety of conditions including overactive bladder and incontinence, motion sickness, dizziness and vertigo, gastrointestinal disorders such as diarrhea and irritable bowel syndrome, COPD, that is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, asthma, bradycardia, symptoms of Parkinson's disease such as abnormal involuntary muscle movement, poisoning due to organophosphates or muscarine. Organophosphates are insecticide used in agriculture. Muscarine is found in many mushrooms. Sometimes anticholinergic drugs are prescribed for off-label use to help decrease excessive sweating, that is hyperhidrosis. The most commonly prescribed anticholinergic drugs for hyperhidrosis are oxybutynin, glycopyrrolate and propantheline. Side effects of anticholinergic drugs. Anticholinergic side effects can be divided into two types: peripheral side effects and central side effects. Peripheral side effects include dry mouth, constipation, urinary retention, bowel obstruction, dilated pupils, blurred vision, increased heart rate and decreased sweating. Central side effects includes impaired concentration, confusion, attention deficit and memory impairment. Friends, in today's lecture, we covered introduction, classification, various conditions that can be treated with anticholinergic drugs and side effects of anticholinergic drugs. In the next lecture, we shall cover pharmacology of atropine as a prototype drug of anticholinergic class of drugs. Friends, please subscribe to the channel to receive the notification for the next lecture. Thank you very much for watching this video lecture. Now we shall meet in the next lecture. Till then, enjoy pharmacology.